Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. A long time no see. It has been over 2 months at this point since I have filmed a YouTube video, so this feels extremely weird because in that time I've been filming a lot of TikToks, so I feel like I need to speak very quickly because I only have 3 minutes to fit everything that I want to say into one video, but I have to remember this is not a TikTok and I can talk as long as I want, much to the dismay of whoever is watching this. So yes, I am back, possibly. I figured for my first video back, I would kind of talk to you guys about what has been going on in my life, what I've been up to, a bit of a life update, as well as what I might have planned for this channel in the future going forward. My 2-month hiatus was very much not intentional, but looking back on it, I'm really glad that I did it because I've definitely been focusing a lot on self-care in this time, so I feel like it was to my benefit taking this 2-month break. But yes, like I said, I'm sort of back. We'll talk about it. So where to even begin with everything that has been going on in my life? I feel like I probably should have written some notes as to what to talk about, but I'm just gonna kind of say whatever comes to mind. To be completely honest, a lot of the things that have kind of been affecting me, whether that's in a good or a bad way over the last 2 months, actually have to do with things that started many months ago. So I'm actually going to talk to you guys about things that were happening all the way back in December, because there are some things that I talk about on my other social media platforms like Instagram or Twitter or stuff like that that I don't always talk about on YouTube, because I tend to just like my YouTube channel to be just a fun, like, safe space about books or Disney or anything like that, so I tend not to talk about a lot of serious topics except for these kind of life update videos. So to kind of catch you up on things that you might not know about if you don't follow me on my other platforms, back in December, actually it was Christmas Eve, because I was filming Vlogmas throughout the month of December, and my last Vlogmas video that I posted on here was not actually supposed to be my last one. In fact, in that video I think I said I'm going to end this vlog here so that I can pick up a new one on Christmas Eve and Christmas, and I never ended up doing that because on Christmas Eve I went to work and it was a very good day. Like, we were in costumes, I was like a female version of Snow Miser, and I was having a great day until somebody stole my wallet out of my purse, out of the back room of my job, which was very disturbing because they took everything. They took not only all of my credit cards and stuff like that, which actually wasn't even the worst part because it was actually pretty easy to like cancel all of those things, and weirdly enough, even the police found it very weird that they didn't use any of my cards, which is very strange because I didn't shut them off for hours after it was stolen because I didn't realize that it was taken until the end of my shift. So this person had ample opportunity to use any of my cards, but they didn't. However, they also took my identity, which is just such an invasion of privacy, it feels like, which was very uncomfortable. But also, which was the weirdest thing of all, was that the day before I had been given my Christmas bonus from my job in cash, and I had that cash in my wallet because I thought if I don't put it in my wallet now to deposit it in the bank, I will always forget to bring it with me. So that money was taken also, which again, when we spoke to the police about this, it was another thing that they found to be a little bit weird because not a lot of people carry cash on them, but it seems weird that it's almost like this person knew that I would have this money in my wallet and they only took my wallet. There was ample opportunity for them to take many other employees' things, including their wallets, but he only took mine. And we did catch it on camera, but it wasn't until the next day. I could do like a whole story time video about this because it's a very long-winded story, but that was very disturbing, and so I didn't end up doing Vlogmas after that, even though I intended to, because I was just very shaken up by the whole thing. And that is not the first time that something like that has happened to me at work, where we have had to call the police because something happened to me specifically. There was a time a couple years ago where actually 2 of my coworkers poured hand sanitizer down the straw of my coffee and let me drink it, and when I went to my higher ups to tell them that this happened, they did not believe me until many hours later when I pulled the footage up on the security cameras and was able to show them. So there have just been many disturbing things over the years that have happened to me at this job, and I knew that I was going to end up leaving this job at some point, probably this year, but I wasn't intending it to be as quickly as it was. So in January, I think the wallet situation was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, I was trying to deal with it till I felt like I was in a place where I could go look for another job or had enough financial security to quit, but that kind of pushed me, and in January I ended up quitting my job, which, if some of you have been following me for a while, you might know that that's my first job that I've ever had. I've been there for over 4 years. I was a manager there for over 3 years. I absolutely loved it, except for these things that would happen, usually involving a coworker that decided that they didn't like me, they felt threatened by me, I have no idea, but created a lot of unsafe situations for me, and it just got to the point where I no longer felt safe working there, not just mentally, because it was incredibly mentally draining to deal with, but also honestly physically safe at that point. So I ended up very unexpectedly quitting my job, and for those of you that don't know, my mom also worked for the same company. She started working there 1 month after I did, so we both worked there for a very long time, and after I quit, and I expressed all of my concerns for the things that had happened to the owner of the place, which my concerns were completely ignored, which was another reason that I ended up quitting, because if I can't go to my higher ups with my concerns and be taken seriously, then I don't feel comfortable working for that company. But my mom did not have the means to quit at the time as much as she wanted to, so she was going to continue to still work there, and they actually ended up firing her, basically in retaliation. Unfortunately, due to the circumstances, because I know everybody that I tell this story to is like, you have to get a lawyer, you have to sue, like, trust me, we've looked into it, and just because of certain situations, like, it's just incredibly difficult to do something like that. It takes so much time and stuff like that, and honestly, I just can't be bothered. I just kind of want to move on from it. Like, I cannot even begin to explain to you the amount of stuff that I had to deal with at this job. I could fill a lot of books, with the messed up things that happened there, and not just to me specifically, but things that I witnessed happening just in general or to other people. It was very disturbing. Like, genuinely, some of the things were so incredibly ridiculous, and they're kind of these sorts of things where I can sort of laugh about them now, even though they were traumatizing at the time, and I've thought about doing like story time videos about it, either on my YouTube or on my TikTok, because genuinely now it's something that I can look back on, and it's one of those things where it's kind of like, if I'm not laughing about it, then I'm crying about it. So a part of me kind of wants to do something like that, but a part of me also thinks I should just leave it in the past and move on from it. So that was something that happened in January, that really affected me, and I ended up actually taking the entire month of February to just kind of recover from that situation. Like, I wasn't even going out and looking for another job, and luckily I've always been pretty good with my money. I've even considered kind of maybe making a YouTube video about it, about like how I save a lot of my money up while still being able to, because obviously you guys know I buy a lot of books, I buy a lot of Disney things, like how I'm able to live on a retail salary, which isn't a lot, especially in the state that I live in, and how I'm able to save money while still spending it on other things and stuff like that. So luckily, I did have the means to be able to just quit unexpectedly, and still be able to, you know, go the entire month of February without looking for another job, because I just needed to recover from the situations that happened. And then I did end up getting another job. It's actually worked out really well, because really I only fit the requirements to work retail. I don't have a college education, so it means my jobs are pretty limited in what I can do. Usually it's retail, and not a lot of places are hiring, especially in like the springtime, because like that is a very slow season for retail. But there was actually a management position open at a store that I absolutely love, that I shop at all the time, and they offered me the job, and it was even better money than what I was making at the last place that I was at. So it worked out really well for me, and I think it's one of those things where it's a bit of a blessing in disguise, and that sometimes, you know, whatever you believe in, the universe or God, I believe in God, where he kind of has to force you out of a situation if you are not going to leave on your own. He has to like make you get to a point where you're just like, well, I gotta go, and then it opens the door for something better. And I think that that is what happened in this situation. The only thing that I'm still kind of very upset about is what they did to my mom, because she was just an innocent bystander in this situation, so that is very upsetting. Something else that happened earlier this year that I mentioned on my Instagram and my Twitter, which, by the way, if you don't follow me over there, you definitely should, because that's where I talk about a lot of the other things going on in my life. So my Twitter is just at tinybookdragon, my Instagram is at tiny_book_dragon. They're always linked in the description box. But my beloved cat Chomper very unexpectedly passed away in January. In fact, it was like not even 2 weeks into January, and then it was not even 2 weeks later that I ended up quitting, which again, it was very unexpected. Obviously, you never expect it. And that's all that I want to talk about as far as that goes. I'm still processing him being gone, because he wasn't even 2 years old. And that's that. Like, I can't talk about it right now. But that was another reason where I wasn't expecting to quit my job, because it cost a lot of money. The things that we had to do for Chomper, and then even having him put down and stuff like that, it was a lot of money. So I thought, I'm gonna have to stick with this job for a little bit longer, but then I just couldn't handle it anymore. And that's that. So in March, fast forwarding to when I stopped posting YouTube videos, in March I ended up starting my new job, and so that just was kind of taking up a lot of my brain space, having to do training and stuff like that, because like I said, the last job that I was at, that was my first ever job, so this was a whole new experience for me. And this place is also corporate. The last place I was at was privately owned, so there's a lot, they do things very differently, even though they're both retail, and there are things that are very much the same. Like, I am much more prepared in this job than I was when I started training for the first job that I was at, but it still was a lot of new things and a lot of information. So I still was able to maintain a lot of my other hobbies, but YouTube was just the one that ended up getting put on the back burner, and that is why I haven't filmed in like 2 months. That being said, kind of brings me into what I plan to do with this channel going forward. In this time, I have been posting a lot on my TikTok, and I was posting a lot on Instagram, like the Instagram Reels. Instagram changed their algorithm or something. I was doing really well on Instagram last year, and now suddenly the algorithm is no longer favoring my content. So I've mainly been posting a lot on my TikTok, which is at tiny_Hannah. Again, I'm pretty sure I have it linked in the description box, but I post all kinds of content over there. It's kind of funny. I feel like every YouTube video or whatever that I watch that's like about how to grow your content on TikTok is like, you have to pick a niche and stick with it. And I have decided that my niche is myself, okay? So anything that I like, including any of my many hobbies, as a part of my niche. And that's what I post about on TikTok, is literally anything and everything. It's mostly books, Disney, like nerdy, geeky content, but I also have some like get ready with me videos or outfit videos, and I just really enjoy doing that, and it's something that I've come to really love over the last couple months, and it kind of made me question what I want to do with my YouTube channel, because, and I know I'm not the first person to say this, but oh my goodness, seeing the amount of effort that I put into a YouTube video to post it and then have it get seen by less than 100 people, whereas I could film a TikTok in like 30 seconds on the fly and like thousands of people see it. It's just, it does not compare. And the thing is, I know we all say like we don't do it for the numbers and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, while that's true to a point, I think if we were always just doing it for ourselves, then we would make these videos and never even upload them. I think the point is to reach other people. That is why we post them, is to like have a community with other people. And generally, it depends on the video, but a lot of times I don't even get comments on my videos that often, whereas I do tend to have more of a community aspect on Instagram or on TikTok, and that's why I do it, is for the community aspect. So like, actually I even think my Instagram gets a little bit more of that, you know, community feeling to it, where people are actually interacting with my content more. Even if I don't get as many views, they just interact with it more than when I post a YouTube video and stuff like that. So it's really made me question what I want to do with YouTube, if it's even worth doing anymore. And I think the conclusion that I have come to right now is that I am going to try to continue with my YouTube channel for the duration of this year and just kind of see how it goes. I have been posting a lot of YouTube shorts in this time as well, which are just kind of my repurposed like Instagram Reels or TikToks, and those have been doing really well as well. I really think that at this point we have entered the age of like quick form content rather than long form, so it makes sense that my YouTube shorts are doing better, and I'm still going to continue to post those as well. But I think I am going to still upload a long form video every now and then. It might not be every week, but I'm gonna try to go for once a week. I do have many videos planned for this. I have a book haul that I want to do, as well as my wrap up for the last 2 months that I haven't been posting videos. So I am hoping to post some new content, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. If after this year I decide that it really isn't for me anymore and I just want to stick with the short form content of doing TikTok or stuff like that, then after this year that's what I'll do. But for now I am going to try to keep up with all of it. I've also decided, especially with doing my TikTok, that I do really want to focus in on geeky, nerdy fandom kind of stuff, which obviously includes books. I mean, books are such a big part of being in a fandom. I mean, most fandoms, even if it's for a TV show or a movie, started with a book, so that definitely fits into it. But I do want to continue doing videos about like Disney or my collections and stuff like that. I am a big like pop culture collector, not even just with Disney things, but I collect like all sorts of other things, so I would like to include that onto my YouTube channel as well, because I have enjoyed including it on my TikTok. So that is kind of my plans going forward. I was doing some crochet content on YouTube as well. I do also post crochet content on my TikTok, but every once in a while. Those videos just weren't doing well on YouTube. I feel like this video is kind of all over the place, and I'm having trouble keeping track of the things that I've mentioned already and what I haven't and still wanted to. But just as a little recap, from this point on, you can expect probably one video a week from me on YouTube, if not every other week. But for the most part, if you want to keep up with me on more of a daily basis, then you should definitely check out my Twitter, Instagram, and especially my TikTok, because at this point, when it comes to social media, my main priority is my TikTok. I post on there at least once a day, if not twice a day, and I have also been doing a lot of TikTok lives over there, actually like a couple times a week. I've mainly been doing like crochet with me lives, but I've also done a couple lives where I have drafted some of the novel that I'm working on, as well as I did a live recently where I actually read a book out loud to you guys. So if that is something that you might be interested in, then definitely check out my TikTok. TikTok Live has also kind of turned into a bit of a side hustle for me as well, which I've never had before, because even though I've been on the internet for many years now creating content, I have never made a penny from any of my social media platforms until I started doing TikTok. As hard as I have tried to get my YouTube channel monetized, I've just never been able to meet the threshold. I think I mentioned everything that I wanted to in this video as far as my life update and everything else. Some other things that I thought I could add in was kind of what I've been up to when it comes to my hobbies, because at this point I think I have too many hobbies that I cannot keep up with them all, and I've even started some new ones over the last 2 months that I haven't been doing YouTube videos, which is why I'm pretty sure I said at the beginning that it was kind of a self-care thing for me. So some other things that I have been doing to kind of help with my anxiety and stuff like that is I went out and bought a Nintendo Switch Lite so that I could play Animal Crossing, which has been great for my mental health, and I love doing it while rewatching some of my favorite TV shows. My mom and I are currently rewatching Psych, which is one of my all-time favorite shows, and I like to watch and play Animal Crossing at the same time, and it has been great for my mental health. I have also been journaling almost daily, which has also been great, just being able to get my thoughts out, and I've really been trying to like set a routine of when I do that stuff every single day, and it really has been working out great for me. Another sort of hobby that I've only done twice at this point, but I actually kind of really enjoyed doing it, was painting with watercolors. I literally had bought a watercolor palette and like a watercolor sketchbook or whatever you call them, watercolor papers or whatever, from Five Below like over a year ago, and I didn't touch them until the other week, and I was actually pretty pleased with how it came out. I'm one of those people that is a perfectionist, and I have no artistic ability whatsoever when it comes to like drawing or painting or anything like that. Like, I think my only artistic capabilities is like crocheting maybe, or like if you consider, you know, content creation to be like art. So I usually hate any kind of artwork that has to do with like drawing or painting or sketching or something like that, but I actually didn't completely hate the stuff that I painted. So like I said, I've only done it twice at this point, but I think it's something that I will continue to do maybe on like a weekly basis, again as sort of like a form of self-care, which has been great for me. So yes, I don't know if you can tell, but I am doing so much better now mentally than I was last year. Like, I cannot explain to you, and I don't even think I realized at the time just how mentally draining my old job was, and going from that to the place that I'm at now, like, you can just tell such a difference. And even my mom has pointed it out to me, because when I take my breaks, I always would call my mom, and she's like, you're taking your breaks and I ask you how the day is going and you're like, it's going well. Whereas at my old job, I would call her and be like crying. So it has just been so much better. I am still very much dealing with the loss of Chomper, which is pretty much the only thing that it still weighs very heavily on me. But besides that, if I'm able to, you know, kind of keep myself distracted with all of these other things that I have been doing to preoccupy my mind, then I'm usually okay. Thank you so much to anybody that stuck around this whole time while I haven't been posting videos, as well as to anybody that has actually watched this far into this video. If you've actually made it this far, I feel like you need to comment like your favorite emoji animal in the comments so that I know that you made it this far. I very much appreciate to anybody that listens to me ramble on for ages. But yes, I think that is everything that I have to mention. I am very much just trying to self-care, as well as actually pursue things that I really want to do, not just in hobbies, but also like for work. At the end of the day, as much as I don't actually completely hate working retail, it's not something that I want to do forever, and it is my dream to be a full-time content creator slash artist, as in like the crocheting that I do or writing a book. Honestly, content creation and being an artist, I feel like, is something that sort of goes hand in hand, because a lot of content creation I would consider to be art, and some art, maybe not so much like crocheting, but like writing a book is content creation. So that was a long-winded way of explaining it, but the point is I feel like they kind of go hand in hand, and that is what I dream of being able to do full-time, and I'm still trying to work towards it. And I tried it with YouTube for a very long time, and I just don't know if this is the doorway for me to get there at this point, but I think TikTok and possibly Instagram is. So again, if you want to keep up with me more often, those are the places to find me right now, but I will still continue to post on YouTube for the rest of this year and possibly longer. We will see. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video and will enjoy the videos that I post going forward. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!